Alright. So what do we got here? We got the QQQ. Yeah. We got the J Beast. We got all the communists right here. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it looks like charges, plague, missiles, 5 shield. Ooh. And meanwhile Plutarch is getting cut up, but he'll be fine. And Starlord, yeah, so double charges, double plague, then just range rockets and a 5 shield. Not the 4-3 dealio. And then for blue team, we have double support void carrier. Wow. This is a really passive opening. And they are getting punished for it, so that's not surprising. Silver on 8 ints, Cloud on Blink. Okay. Red Dog with Imp, Kenneth with just shield transfer, Plutarch with the 5 shields, and Graveyard with the range rockets. Is 5 shields, is that the new popular Colossus opening? I mean, I feel like it was for a while, and then people kind of decided that getting more rocket upgrades really was better. But maybe it's gone back to 5 shields now. At least, I mean, it makes more sense with the Arbiter, right? Like, with Kenneth recharging, it seems as though, you know, you can probably keep the shields up longer, but it's still a problem of damage, right? Like, especially because they have the carrier instead of some sort of off-tank or DPS ship at the early stage of the game. And so they're reliant on Cloud back farming to at all recover farm, which is risky, but it's fine for now because the BC doesn't have lockdown for another 2 minutes. Well, maybe 1 minute. I'm just kind of curious why they would choose this comp. The blue team, that is. Right, red team's comp makes sense to me. But the carrier void double support just seems so greedy. Like, well, we definitely win the endgame if we get to an endgame. But you probably end up dying at the 17-minute mark or so. They're doing a pretty good job of actually evening up farm at the moment. It's now only a 200 difference. The communists are letting things slip away. How have you been, Helveticus? I guess you are muted still. Alright. So Cloud goes 4 disruptors, cloak. So he's still looking to be back farming. I guess he might be able to get away with it for a while, since the main form of denial is the battle cruiser. But yeah, red team is like, okay, how do we not let this become an endgame? Well, we siege up at 8 minutes with level 2 Gats and start taking towers immediately. Which makes sense because the, graveyard, there's like a small risk of torp on graveyard, but he doesn't have it. He didn't have the money for it. Kenneth's force fields just do nothing here, which puts a lot of pressure on Plutarch to try to make something happen, but it's quite difficult here. Silver's Timps might be able to get in, but they're at 18 range, Siege is 17 range, okay, so that can actually help. But they're going to lose the tower, because the damage is just not enough at this point. Void has warped back. And he comes out with 8 beam. No charge though. 0.26 speed. wants to get on QQQ, but that's still a 3 armor protective fielded Dreadnought. It's not exactly a good kill. Starlord is taking some damage though. 3,700. If they can pick off Starlord, they can really slow the assault. 2,000. 1,500. Energy is still good. They have no way of restoring him. Why did he back off? What happened? Oh, the Cloud. He got Cloud denied. Now he's gonna have to go into Cloak, and if he stays here, he's gonna get killed. He actually needs to run now, and Starlord is gonna get away. Yeah, 400 will be enough to get back to base easily. That really could have been the moment. The Cloud absolutely saved Starlord right there. Now they are looking at a game where Red is once again up 600 farm. Lion King with the beam. Lance, rather. JJ Beast has Siphon. No spotter. No. Battlecruiser has scan now at least. But there's no way they have the damage to threaten a tower here. In addition to being that most of them are beat up from the plagues earlier. QQQ coming out, you have to imagine at least someone is going to be ready to warp on him, but no warps have started yet. Now the question is, now that they have scan and lockdown, is there anything that they can do to prevent round 2 of the sieges? And maybe if Red Dog can get some imps off. Starlord has 210 energy. They did scan, but they should probably be able to see that he's gonna warp out. Yes, scan was still going when the warp before the warp went off. So now the question is, will Starlord manage to siege up before he gets imped? Might. Yeah, Red Dog is kind of just backing off when really he probably did want to get this imp off. Lucky Devil is down here with Cloud nearby. That's kind of dangerous. He does have a spotter. But JJ Beast is also down here with only 6,000 life. Cloud still doesn't have charge though, so he's up to 10 beam, 0.26 speed, but no charge. Starlord ended up having to, or backing off before the torpid. Ooh! Graveyard cancelled his torp shot. Ooh, lands it on Boomy. I mean, it only hits shields, but if that had missed, that would be 6,000 shields that weren't gone. Siphon lands on Cloud. And the Warp Prism is now at 7,000 HP, and they don't actually have a lot of ways to deal with the force field when it is helping the Tempests. I'm guessing Tempest Force Field was one of their main strategies going into the game for sustained damage. Plutarch with 5 shield, 3 missiles. Yeah, Lion King just went full lance. No rockets, no lasers at all. It's interesting considering there are the 2 supports. But since they're, he doesn't want anything else getting denied, I think eating imps is not necessarily a bad idea. Cloud is now taking lock-ins, but he's gonna have a brief window here where he can cloak, yeah. He gets in with the cloak just as the lockdown ends. Scan goes up, he blinks out, and looks like he Lockdown didn't go off. But now, this is really a key moment, since you should know that Sweep has another 30 seconds on cooldown, but now he ate a lockdown. Yeah, baiting the first scan and getting out of the lockdown can be one of the main strategies Void Ray uses to actually generate kills against the BC. Now we see what QQQ comes out with. 7 armor. Mines are at 2380 versus massive damage. JJB's coming back with 400, or 500 basically. Lucky Devil comes out with Cyblast at 1785. Starlord also at 7 armor. No Gats, interesting. Lion King coming out with Invulnerability ult. And JJB's picked up Contaminate to deal with the Void Ray beam speed. What was that? Alright, Starlord has his siege up. Oh, I guess I missed... Yeah, it's QQQ who doesn't have any Gats. Starlord is at 5 Gats. Or Prism is at 8,000 life. Starlord's shields are down. Temps... Okay, Blackout lands on Starlord and QQQ. Beam is on Starlord. Lockdown hits Cloud. He still doesn't have any actual charge ups though. So he's just using Beam to hit Starlord. Starlord now down to 2,500, 2,000, 1,500, 1,000, 500. Does he have E-shields? Oh, he has Protective Field. And he goes down. No E-shields. So this is... If Cloud gets out of this, they have a clean kill. Boomy dodges this Torp. But it's not looking like he's going to be able to get there before the next blink. If he can't lock down, yeah. So Cloud gets out with a clean kill, and the tower still stands. So now they do not have the Dreadnought, and they don't have the Siege. They're going to try to use Psyblast to finish off the tower. Down to 4,000. JJ Beast doesn't have Psyblast, and Lucky Devil is only at 100 energy. 1,000 HP left on the tower. 500. Even Lion King might be able to finish it off at this point. But probably just going to wait for... Oh, no, they need to save Lion King now. Lion King at 2,500. And he's out. The tower is still alive. Graveyard chasing with 11 range on his rockets. Does have afterburners to catch up if they try to outrun him. But he still has another minute on his Torp, which he missed earlier. Cloud got hit by a Siphon earlier, so he's out of energy. Can't blink forward or harass. Not that he'd necessarily want to here anyway. And Red is still up on farm, but being down a ship at this point is quite a problem since they need a good HP pool and a good range of abilities to be able to finish off the tower and to deal burst damage to the Void Ray. Right? You know, when it's just one Dread, that means if he can avoid any explosive charge while cloaked, it's a lot easier to avoid the burst damage. But there is at least all of the Dread abilities on QQQ, so it's not like they have lost the ability to lock down like if they had lost the BC. The Overlords are now on Silver. JJB still does not have Psyblast. Torp misses. Silver is getting recharged though, so with only single Psyblast, he's not going down here at all. Silver's Ints are up to 13, so not really threatening any kill at this point. The Tempests are annoying for JJ Beast. Have to work down the shields of the Warp Prison now. Lucky Devil is not just exclusively focusing on the Prism, he is trying to land Siphons on Cloud. And once again, the Prism is going to sit here at 200 and just stay alive. Lion King has 4 times the farm of Plutarch. Really the key difference there in the laser, or the lance versus laser build. Now Cloud is going to have a moment where he can get on QQQ. Mines are up to 2700 versus Massive. Cloud is up to 8 shields, still no charge. I find that an interesting choice, that he has 500 energy and the only thing he wants to use it on is Cloak. Warp Prism is back up to 5,000 shields. There's no gaps on QQQ at all. Boomy's missiles are 7, which is enough to do about 1,000 damage per volley. Torp is heading toward Boomy, but it gets cancelled. Trying again, probably going to cancel again. Oh, yeah, he just missed. It went off. Void is in. Void is locked down. Cloud is going to have to retreat here. He's taking a Psyblast down to 4,000, and he blinks out. And the Vortex goes down. It's just too bad that the Torp is already used. Invulnerability Field pushing back Silver, not allowing the Temps to be replaced directly on top of the Vortex. Vortex is down. It looks like they might actually go in and try to finish off this tower one more time. And they might actually get it this time if they can land one more Psyblast. Oh, still one more. Alright, it finally goes down. Now we're at the 30-minute mark, and this is actually a really important point. Blue team was delayed in their farm because of the initial disadvantage. But now that they're up a ship, the difference of 700 farm, even though they did lose the second tower, this is the point where their composition starts becoming arguably stronger, probably objectively stronger, than the red team's comp. Battlecruiser really starts to have diminishing returns as this game goes on, and the 2 Overlords can sometimes really struggle to mitigate the damage from the Void Ray. So the longer the game goes, the more likely it is that Cloud is going to find an opening, like he is right now trying to harass Lucky Devil. Probably not going to go for a kill here, but just getting some damage on him, delaying him and making him spend more time in base. And Silver's Vortex, the longer the game goes, the more likely one good Vortex will land. That will create an opportunity for Cloud to actually get a pick. And the more likely it is that a blackout will land. That likewise will create a window of opportunity. But they might not be there quite yet. Torp is just getting cancelled, just threatening. Graveyard really does love his cancel torpedoes. This one might land. Not quite. Just a little bit behind Lion King. Ooh, Tempests are hitting JJ Beast very hard. He is burning. Oh! Rocket Volley lands and JJ Beast goes down. This is now a 4-6. Sky Furies are up, but it's going to be increasingly difficult for Red Team to actually get a pick here. And even though both towers are gone, if they can't ever kill one of the ships, they can't really kill the base very easily. The farm is even in blue, has more ships and the better late game composition. Despite how dire this looked for blue team at the start of this game, they've really pretty strongly turned it around. Boomy threatening rockets on silver, but with no follow-up damage from Lucky, you can't get a pick there. QQQ trying to keep Cloud under containment, but getting to the point where interceptors can be really a hassle for Lucky Devil and Boomy. Blackout on Lion King and QQQ, but Cloud is not in position. He's off chasing Overlords. Actually, Lucky Devil just turned around and walked into the Void Ray. And now that Cloud does have Beam, Lucky Devil is gone, and this game is all but over now. Unless they can somehow get a pick on Cloud, right? If they could get a lockdown and actually kill him, maybe they can somehow get back into this. But if they cannot in this moment, and he now has Blink, and this might be the end of the game, actually, for Red now at this point. If Blue can turn into them in a convergent way, they can probably kill off Boomy. Now with none of the Overlords, there's just no burst damage left in the red team. There's no kill mechanic. Well, this has ended up being an unexpectedly good game. Although, this might be the point at which it starts to slow down and get a little bit boring, because red team still has enough that they might not want to concede. But even though it looks really unlikely they're going to be able to do anything in the near future. Theoretically, with the double tank, you know, if blue team does overcommit at one point, they might be able to get a good pick. Right, maybe, you know, Graveyard will turn and eat a Torp. Things can go wrong, but their composition is very forgiving of mistakes, right? With double support. Red Dog with Blackout and continuous defensive matrix, and Kenneth with 220 shields per second. They would have to have a really big error to actually let someone die at this point. Blackout on Lion King. Beam is on him. Shields are gone. 5,000, 3,000, 1,500, and he's dead, and this is... Well, it was over before, really. It was over when the second Overlord died. And there's Lion King GGing out. I don't really know who the captain was for this IH group. looks like QQQ might want to actually play on a little bit more, even though this pretty much looks totally over. I mean, they're in a pub match, you know, maybe you could occasionally see a single Dreadnought actually make a comeback. It's happened, you know, a few times, but most of the time in an IH, this is just really over, especially against this composition. Oh, the late game comp worked out. They've stalled enough. Oh, it was Starlord versus Graveyards and Kenneth. Cool. Thanks for the info, Health. If Torp lands... Oh, the drift goes too far. He almost actually nearly finished off QQQ there. Would have set him to, like, 1,500 or about that. But yeah, the Tempests are really a problem for them now. I mean, I guess that was kind of the weakness of the comp all along, was Force Field Tempests are just a pain to deal with. I mean, it takes so long to develop that a lot of the times you would expect the team with the ARB carrier to just die before they really can do any damage. And that's nearly what happened, right? The first tower was dead and the second tower was about to die when basically they just managed to get that first pick on Starlord. And after that, everything just turned in a very unforgiving fashion. QQQ is going down here, and this is the end. And so, there will be, there are signups now for the tournament starting in January 2018. So, if you're interested in Star Battle X, maybe try to find a team and become a part of that. Thanks for watching.